Walt Disney stated that Disneyland will never be completed, that it will continue to grow as long as there is imagination left in the world. Unfortunately, this growth sometimes comes at a cost, as older attractions are removed to make way for change. So today I want to take a look at 5 attractions that are no longer at Disneyland, which you can still experience at Disney World, Florida. First on our list is the Country Bear Jamboree, which opened at Walt Disney World in October 1971, with a Disneyland version following early the next year. The show consists of 24 animatronic bears serenading the audience with a string of short country songs. These cuddly characters proved to be popular and spawned spin-off shows including the Christmas Special and the Vacation Hoedown, and even inspired a feature film released in 2002 starring Christopher Walken and the voice of Haley Joel Osment.
I'm impressed. I cannot tell you how impressed I am.
But after 30 years at Disneyland, the Bears' reign began to fade, especially after Bear Country was renamed to Critter Country with the opening of Splash Mountain in 1989.
Critter Country is the new name that's been given to the area. It used to be called Bear Country, and you'll still see bears run around through here, but you'll also see a lot of furried and feathered friends which have moved in.
And on September 9th, 2001, the Disneyland version of the Bear Country Jamboree closed to make way for the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Fortunately, the bears can still be found at the Magic Kingdom in Florida, and even received a makeover in 2024 with a brand new show featuring your favorite Disney tunes. And for those who are a little nostalgic for the classic version, the original set list can still be found at Tokyo Disneyland, assuming you can speak Japanese. Next on our list is the Carousel of Progress. Created by Walt Disney to feature at the General Electric Pavilion for the 1964 New York World's Fair, it quickly became one of the fair's most popular pavilions.
The Carousel Theater will present a warm and entertaining portrayal of how life has changed through electrical energy.
And features the catchy tune, There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, written by the Sherman Brothers.
Beautiful tomorrow, just a dream away.
After the fair ended, the attraction was moved to Tomorrowland at Disneyland and remained there between 1967 and 1973. But after audiences began to dwindle, Disney decided to move the show to their new Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World, reopening there in January 1975. Along with the move, GE wanted the attraction to have a new theme song to encourage their customers to buy appliances.
Now is the best time. Now is the best time of your life.
Fortunately, the original song was restored after GE's sponsorship ended, and the Carousel of Progress has gone on to become the longest-running stage show in the history of American theater. For our next attraction, let's take a look at the PeopleMover. The PeopleMover opened in July 1967 at Disneyland Resort in California. Guests boarded small trains that ran on elevated tracks for a tour of Tomorrowland, and the cars were pushed by rotating tires embedded in the track. Each car included its own sound system, which pointed out highlights of Disneyland's attractions. But the ride was closed in August 1995 and infamously replaced by the short-lived successor, the Rocket Rods. Today, the tracks still trace a path through Tomorrowland as a reminder of what once was. Fortunately for fans of this attraction, a version of this ride still exists at the Magic Kingdom in Florida, where their version of the PeopleMover opened in July 1975 and is still operating today.
Progress City, Walt Disney's amazing dream for a community of tomorrow. Did you know Progress City inspired Epcot?
Paging Mr. Morrow, Mr. Tom Morrow. Please contact Mr. Johnson at the control tower to confirm your flight to the moon. Thank you.
Another Lost Disneyland attraction is the Skyway, a gondola-type attraction dating back to 1956, which shuttled guests between Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. The Skyway reached heights of 60 feet and traveled at a leisurely 4 miles an hour, but gave riders a unique view of the park and the attractions below, and became even more exciting in 1959 when cars were routed through the newly constructed Matterhorn Mountain. But Disneyland's Skyway closed in November 1994 due to the aging infrastructure, which caused metal fatigue. A tribute to the Skyway was added to the Matterhorn bobsleds after a refurbishment in 2015, showing a pile of Skyway buckets and bobsled vehicles, which appear to have been torn to shreds by the attraction's abominable snowman. Almost 20 years later, the Skyway received a spiritual successor with the construction of the Skyliner at Walt Disney World. This new gondola system opened in 2019 and connected 4 of Disney World's resorts with the Hollywood Studios and Epcot theme parks. These new gondolas are much faster than the originals, traveling 11 miles an hour and holding up to 10 passengers per cabin. Although the cars are much larger because the Skyway is being used as commuter transport, you can't help but feel that Imagineers must have been inspired by the original Skyway when considering their designs. The final attraction on this list is the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, which takes guests on a high-speed drop ride inspired by the classic television series. The original version of the attraction opened in July 1994 at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World.
One stormy night long ago, 5 people stepped through the door of an elevator and into a nightmare.
And a decade later, the attraction was added to Disney's California Adventure, although this version of the ride excludes the dark ride section that takes guests through the 5th dimension. California's version of the ride continued to thrill guests until 2017 when it was closed and rethemed, reopening later that year as Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. There's a lot of debate around which version of the ride is better, but Twilight Zone fans can still experience the original version at Disney World, at least for now. As Disney continues to promote their own IP within parks, there's a good chance that the Florida version of Tower of Terror could be replaced at some point. Whether that's a Guardians retheme similar to California, or something entirely different remains to be seen. An honorable mention also goes to It's Tough to Be a Bug and Muppet Vision 3D. Both of these 3D shows once called California Adventure home, but are now only found at Walt Disney World. But neither will be there long, since Disney has announced that both shows will close in the near future to make way for newer attractions.
Nothing can stop us. Ha! Nothing!
While it's disappointing that these attractions have closed on the West Coast, at least we can still experience them at one of the other Disney parks. So let me know which of these rides were your favorite, and whether or not you wish they still existed at Disneyland, California. And click here to check out some of our other recent Disney videos.